Happy Thanksgiving, and we are back to screencasting and spreadsheets, and we are going to learn how to make a bowling spreadsheet today. And along the lines of bowling, we're going to learn how to do the min and max and sum function along the way. So here we go. What I would like you to do is log into your Google Drive and create a brand new spreadsheet. And like we have done in the past, let's click on the name of it and let's have you rename it. Let's call this Bowling with Friends. Okay. And then like we have done in the past, we've decided that it's good to have a title at the top of our spreadsheet. So we'll call this Bowling Stats. And then at any point in time, when you need to pause this, you can pause this and go back and do the same thing in your Google spreadsheet. So anyway, we're going to move down and we'll put, this looks like it's an A3 here. We'll put the heading bowler. Okay. And then we're going to put game 1. And then we're going to put game 2. We're going to put, whoops, typo, game 3. Other typo, need a space there. There we go, that works well. And I'm pressing tab as I move across, so it's kind of the thing here. For now, let's go down and put the names of our bowlers. So let's put anybody you want. I'm going to put Larry, Curly, Mo, a lot like the gradebook spreadsheet, but you can put whoever you want, but should have 3 bowlers. And then I want you to randomly put scores for each of the bowlers. So we'll assume Larry is a high bowler, so you're going to have a 215 in game 1, and a 200 in game 2, and a 191 in game 3. And you can put whatever numbers you want. Our spreadsheets are not going to match up, by the way. Curly's going to have a, well, let's say a 123, a 145, and a 150. And then Mo, he struggled. He had 98 and a 110 and a 124. And so there are your bowlers and their scores. And what we would like to do is figure out what their average was. And this gets back to the gradebook spreadsheet. And we know how to do averages, so we'll come back to that. But we'd like to have a series total. Because a lot of times in bowling, when you bowl 3 games in a row, you'd like to know what your total was. Okay, so in addition to that, we'd like to introduce a couple of new functions, and that is going to be high game and low game. Okay, so anyway, what we're going to do for the average is go up to the function drop down, and we'll put the average, and I'd like you to do this for each of your bowlers. Okay, but here's the difference now. Okay, whoops, messed up. Let's try that again. Okay, equals average. Let's go here. Let's return. There we go. But, okay, this is big now. Instead of doing that again and again, we're going to take this little fill handle, this little blue handle right here, this blue square, and we're going to drag it straight down. And then you don't have to do it again and again. So the other thing we're going to do, as long as we have them highlighted, is for an average, we'd like to give the nearest whole number. So, whoops, for the drop down right here, we're going to tell it rounded, and then that gives the average for each stooge. So in my case now, I'm going to go with the series total. So if you have to pause, go back and do that. That's fine. But for the total, what we're going to do is use the sum function. And the sum is going to add up all the numbers. And then we want to be careful. We don't want to get the average in that sum because that would not be accurate. We want to average up this to 3 scores. So when I press return, boom, I get their series total. So like I did before, I'm going to grab this little blue handle right here and drag downward, and it's going to copy those formulas. That's one of the powers of the spreadsheet. All right, for the high game, we're going to hit the drop down and choose max. And then like before, it's going to pick out the 3 games high score. So for Larry, in my case, with those numbers, he had a 215 high score. Whoops, went a little bit too far. And then for the low game, we're going to use the min function right there. And so therefore, we're going to have the min for Larry's 3 scores. Got to be careful on. We don't want to be including that average, and then hit the drop down, and then all it needs is some formatting here. So what we should do is take the bowling stats and highlight all those cells and merge them, just like we did before, and then bold, and let's go with 12 points like we did before, and then probably center. So if you have to, I went through that kind of fast, you have to do it again, that's fine, okay? And then these should all be bolded. And then remember, you know, that looks good like it is, but these don't, because the games and such should be aligned right, like their numbers are. Okay, that looks good. Now, what I'd like to do is go down below and type in an average so we can get an average for the team score. So if these guys bowl together, we could have an average score for their team. So what we're going to do is hit the drop down and hit average and average up their team scores. Just like that. And then we want to probably, yeah, if you have to pause, you have to pause, but we want that to be rounded. And then what you can do, instead of doing that again and again, you can copy that over there. So there's their average scores for game 1, game 2, game 3. And then we can average up, in fact, all the way across. We average up their average scores for their team, average up their series total, average up their high game, average up their low game. So, okay, this looks good, and I'd like you to create that spreadsheet, and then whether I grade this today or a different day, doesn't really matter, but all right, happy spreadsheeting. Okay.